All right, Northcentral Connect, middle of June. As you can see, it's very gray outside. We've been dealing with some severe weather in our area this week, and we actually are missing somebody because of the severe weather. They've been trying to make up the lineman school, so JD's out this week. And
well, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, that's what we're saying?
Yeah, that's the story.
Consecutive months, he has mysteriously disappeared.
So it'll be like the Beatles at the end of Strawberry Fields. We just...
Is
JD still with us, or is he not? Yeah.
So, I am your media specialist, Justin Jaggers. As always, we are joined by our CEO and General Manager, Kevin Doddridge.
Great to be here.
And our Director of Marketing and Business Development, Michael Bellapani.
Hello.
And so, I guess, speaking of severe weather, we've had a lot going on this week. We've had some outages, and we've had, of course, we took care of some things very quickly. So I think our members were pretty happy about that. And, So I would hope that they're happy. So, but yeah, we're gonna go straight into it, and I guess go straight into everyone's asking about Northcentral Connect. As always, they have been for the past year and a half. So let's give them an update.
Yeah, and that's gonna kind of piggyback on what you said about the weather. I mean, things with the Northcentral Connect, they're moving well, but they're moving slow. We've got a lot of engineering, make-ready work that's going. As good as we could expect. We're pleased with the progress there. Getting the service to people's homes, that's a different story. And we're kind of dealing with what everybody else is dealing with right now. We got an issue with labor. We got a big issue with the weather right now. And you got to remember, and I think I probably said this last month, when we run a fiber service to your home, that's not like when we run an electric service to your home with new construction, where other utilities may not be in the ground. The construction site is, it's not a final product as of yet. So we're trying to get fiber into a home where you probably have multiple utilities in the ground already, making sure that we don't disturb or disrupt them. And also getting in your yard and putting a trench in your yard with all this weather, it slows us up. And when we come out of this rain, we're still going to have, the ground right now is saturated. So it's just going to be slow, and because we're trying to come in with this little disruption, we don't want to disrupt it any more than we have to. But for every service we run, we're going to have to come back and probably do some repairs. So it's just slowing us up. But indeed, we're getting there, and the progress, we're continuing. Kind of get on what you talked about with the storms. We've done a good job in the last, probably really reamped our right-of-way maintenance program in the last 3 years, and that's paying off. If we do have outages, we're able to get everything restored fairly quickly. But we've had a lot of bad weather recently. The ground is saturated because we've had a tremendous amount of rain. So trees that were struggling, their root systems, can potentially give up, especially in high wind. So we're having to deal with that a little bit. But overall, happy with the response. We just need the sun to come out. I keep looking over your head, Justin, if they can't see. I keep wanting the sun to come out, and it just hasn't done it yet. Discussing some latest events, I guess you would say nationwide. Cybersecurity's reared its head. It really never went away, but the magnitude has increased as we saw the effects on the pipeline, the effects that ransomware has on business. And realize that people can hack into your system. Right now, as a distribution system in North Mississippi, we're really not on the radar of anybody for a large cybersecurity hack. Having said that, we're not immune by any means. Our IT staff, Ken Morris and his guys, have informed me at one time that on a particular night, we may have as many as 200,000 attempts to get into our system. Things they could do to hurt us would be the fact that we do have an automated system out there through our SCADA, so they could get out there and mess with our power supply, maybe open some switches, do some things like that. They could get onto our customer database, a significant amount of Social Security numbers there, and do things that would just really incredibly inconvenience us as well as far as locking down our billing system. But Ken and them do a great job. They recognize all the threats. They keep everything up to date. One of our big concerns is an employee receiving an email that he or she probably should not open. And they send them to me. We do a test occasionally. And if you open that email, it's going to take you directly to training and explain to you why you shouldn't open emails like that.
I failed that test
You
once.
failed the test.
That was when I first started. Failed it once. Never happened again. So.
Right. An image of you pops up with a little dunce hat on. You go. You have to do cyber training and all that. So
you go sit in the shame corner for a few minutes.
But yeah, so we just try to make sure that we're covering basic blocking and tackling there, so we don't get exposed. TVA being our power supplier and having their large transmission system throughout the Southeast, I'm not going to say they're at greater risk, but they would be a greater target. But that is something when people ask, yes, we certainly have it on our mind, and our IT staff works against cybersecurity constantly. And that's a reason why we're owning our own fiber. We think that it's still safer, whether it's for electric purposes or internet purposes, that we keep and maintain our own fiber. Probably a lot of, I have to put on my glasses to think. Probably a lot of concern out there about what our current presidential administration is proposing in the upcoming months, and we all know that there's an emphasis on climate change. And I think that everybody would probably agree that the climate's always going to change. It's just the how much does man and our culture and society contribute to that. So that's something that we at North Central really don't have the ability to determine. But I think we can all agree that when we see something that affects our climate in an adverse way, it would be better to correct it. You don't have to get into a full-scale political discussion. If you see something that you know is bad for the environment, it would be better if you don't do it. If you see an emission coming out of an old tailpipe, you know that's probably not good. And it's not that you automatically just start getting rid of everything that's powered by fossil fuels, but you just recognize that maybe we can do some things a little better. And that's where we're kind of looking at the opportunity and promoting beneficial electrification. And that's where we electrify more of the devices that we use. And an example would be, and I'll take you back to my house, Black & Decker all-electric weed eaters, hedge trimmers, things like that. Things that we used to take for granted, things that the product probably as remotely as 3 or 4 years ago really wasn't that good.
Yeah.
They just didn't have the horsepower. If it's chainsaw, they didn't have the torque. But right now, for a small part of my yard, I'm using an all-electric battery-powered push mower. It's plastic. The heaviest thing is the battery. Really easy to push and really easy to charge and does a great job. The same thing for a weed eater. We at North Central are going to explore in the upcoming months the new all-electric battery-powered chainsaws, which those things are aggressive. We will probably have to rethink our whole approach to using chainsaws from a safety standpoint because of that. But all this needs to be done in a responsible manner, because I could probably sit here and explain to you how beneficial or driving a lot of things to the electricity market is the best thing that we can do. But you still need diversity. And, I'm not picking on Texas, but obviously Texas had a terrible chain of events that happened to them this last winter. And when you don't have electricity, if they had a huge amount of electric cars, etc., it could have been worse. So I still think you need a certain amount of diversity. We've got an all-gas fleet here with the exception of one all-electric car. And being from the South, when Ford rolls out that F-150 that's all-electric, we're going to get one. And I'm going to drive it a lot. I look forward to that. So we do try to recognize and acknowledge that the climate does change. We also acknowledge that man may have a certain contributing factor, but we don't need to go to huge extremes. But the first thing you can do is recognize there's little things that we can do better. So there's probably some things that you can do at home. There are some things that we can do here at North Central. We're going to probably go out. We've already started some work on electric vehicle charging stations strategically located throughout our service area. Probably not anticipating a tremendous amount of use, but maybe if you live in this area or you live, we'll just say 200 miles away, you would like to buy an all-electric vehicle, but you're concerned and you have anxiety about taking that thing on the highway because you can't charge it. Maybe just the mere presence of our charging stations will encourage people to use electric vehicles a little bit more and not be concerned too much about getting to an area where they can't recharge it. And they'll probably still, we acknowledge most of them will still probably charge at home, which is best. Also, we are looking at a solar project. We would agree that solar energy does not need to be part of your firm base power supply. It's just not reliable. But it does produce electricity from the sun, which technically is a free fuel source. So it can be used. In conjunction with battery storage, we can shave demand, which could be a huge cost savings. So Michael and I have been working with a group of people, Silicon Ranch, that do this. And some of y'all might be, some of our membership might be really excited about the prospect of a solar farm in our service area. One of the drawbacks is going to be current utilization of land, and that so much land right now is being used for retail, residential, housing, etc. It's going to be hard to find a place in our service area where it makes sense to occupy 50-acre chunks of land to try to come up with the solar projects that's worthwhile. So if people are frustrated that we're not moving quickly into the solar area, we're not in an ideal place for it. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to explore it and see if we can't come up with some type of project.
And we've also have been supportive of solar for a number of years. I think at this point in time right now, we've got around 10 residential solar arrays in our service area. Now those are benefiting those homeowners, and they've invested in that. And then one agricultural. It's on top of a hay barn. So we're very supportive of renewable energy and solar. We just want to do it in a responsible manner that is in the best interest of our members, which is first and foremost. So we'll continue to look into those technologies. We'd love to be able to contribute to reducing range anxiety with electric vehicles by putting a couple of fast charging DC EV chargers in our service area and become part of a nationwide network, which will develop over the next few years. And Kevin, if that's all, I'm just going to continue on. Without JD here, I know he was
moving smoothly.
It is. Yeah. He hijacked.
Is he going to watch this?
He hijacked my segue and took it even further. Well done.
Yeah.
No, JD would want me to mention this, and we're getting into the season where you could have a perfect day through the first 5-6 hours, and once you hit 90-95 degrees, it could change very quickly. So we all need to focus on severe weather preparedness and those things that you need to do in the event that we have a weather system come through that knocks out power. So just as always, make sure that you and your family have a plan. You're charging your devices when there's
the storm.
Yeah, that's right. Be prepared.
That's the comment I get the most on handling our social media is, how am I supposed to keep my phone charged if my power's out? You do it beforehand.
Yes, it's preparedness.
Or use your charger in the car.
And
watch the emissions, though, and raise the garage door.
That's right. That's right. But just be weather aware, and I think that we're getting close to an astronomical period, some like 80 or 100 years of being this late in the year and not have hit 90 degrees.
Right.
But we're going to do that this weekend, I believe. So
we've made up for it in the humidity the last several
we sure
have.
So
but you make a good point. You need to check the weather in the morning, but check it often, because these pop-up storms, they happen. They do actually come out of nowhere.
That's right. And we try and plan around that too, and make sure that we've got folks. If it gets towards the end of the day and you start seeing these little red spots pop up in Arkansas, we're looking at our staffing. We're making sure we've got folks available. But as always, we're on call when needed. So I'll elaborate a little bit on Connect, just to let folks know what's going on. You'll see some changes to our website at northcentralconnect.com. We've added a new shade of color on there. We've turned an area blue on that map, and that lets folks know that that area is ready to receive service. They are ready to be connected. I believe on the website we say fiber ready, but I'm going to change that to ready to be connected. There's a new area that turned green, which is what we're calling our Byhalia North phase. We are currently in construction in that phase. We're connecting some members in there, and we'll turn that blue when we hit a certain milestone of construction in that area. But basically, it's the areas of the quadrant of I-22 and I-269 north and east to Bubba Taylor Road and Woodview. So Bahia proper is getting connected at this point. And if you're in Ingram's Mill, that Red Banks Bahia Road area, and you have not signed up for service, we're still connecting folks there. So be sure to go to northcentralconnect.com. Once you enter your address, we'll send you an email when it's time to sign up for service, and also when it's time to schedule your in-home installation. To elaborate a little bit more on the construction process, I'm happy to say that we're throwing all we can at this. We've got a new contractor that's going to be starting hopefully this week.
We're hiring new employees.
An additional contractor.
Yeah.
We have not replaced our current contractor, so we're just putting all our resources into this, and
All the resources that we can come up with.
that's right. And hopefully we'll hit a stride soon and get to the point to where we are opening new phases faster. Those that have already been connected, we've got an upgraded app. You've got a notification that to go and download the North Central Connect app. Connect, I believe, is the way it's listed, and it's personalized. It's branded for us. You can go into that app and sign up with a new profile. Any North Central Electric member has to create a new profile for North Central Connect. They're separate companies, so we want you to have a separate login credential to the website. And what that does is it enables you to manage your account, pay your bills, set up an automatic payment so you can just forget about it, or you can sign up for alerts and reminders where we will send you messaging in regards to your account, and it helps you better manage it and make sure the bill is paid on time. One thing I briefly want to hit on real quick is the difference between North Central Electric and North Central Connect. As you sign up for services, keep in mind that your electric bill comes in arrears. We're billing for past usage, and you will pay that bill based on a certain billing period. We read a meter in, we read it out, and then we send you a bill. North Central Connect, we bill into the future. We bill you for a future month.
And this is consistent amongst telecom companies.
Oh, absolutely.
You're doing that with your other telecom bills as well.
That's right. We're not measuring your usage at your home with your internet. So we'll bill you in advance. So those that have been connected recently, you may get a first bill that reflects a full month, which means the full month after your connection, or a partial month, or both. So it could be a little bit higher than expected. So those that see a bill for 45 days worth may be a little surprised, but just be aware that it will normalize after that first month. Yeah. But in regards to Connect, we're working hard. As always, you could reach out to us at info@northcentralelectric.com with any questions, but please visit the website, northcentralconnect.com. Make sure you pre-register your address. We do aggregate those addresses, and we use those as we make decisions on opening up phases. So you'll notice on the website that you've got a little section of Olive Branch that's that Miller Road, Bethel Road area. That's a highly populated area. We've got a lot of interest there. A lot of interest in Ingram's Mill still from folks that have not gone in and signed up for service. So we're ready.
Just because we move construction to another phase doesn't mean that we won't come back. So if you're in a phase where your neighbors have received service and you've just now made the decision, please let us know. And as we aggregate a certain number, we're going to come back and get you. You haven't missed out on an opportunity. Getting this on the first swipe is probably quicker, but
Yeah, that's
but
right.
we will get to you, we promise.
Everything after these initial phases to cover our obligations to the grant money and making sure that we're doing what we can to connect the rural parts of our service area are strategic business decisions. So we're looking at them from a perspective of, hey, can we make the most impact going here? But happy to serve, happy to answer questions. You'll see us out in the community more as we get established and it's actually coming to you to sign up. We're not going to knock on your door, but we'll create an event and maybe give you a hot dog to do that. Speaking of events, they're starting to come together. I've been to a few chamber luncheons, and folks are genuinely excited to be able to gather in person. And we're always supportive of our nonprofits and area charities, so we encourage you to do that. There's a few events I wanted to let you know about. The Byhalia Main Street Area Chamber of Commerce is helping to sponsor Eats and Arts, and that's going to be on Church Street between Highway 309 and Brunswick in Byhalia. And this is a fundraiser to help with the revitalization of the old school commons in Byhalia. There's a lot of folks that are interested in that. It's a great, beautiful old school, and hopefully we'll raise a bunch of money for that. But that's going to be on June 19th from 5 to 8 in the evening. They'll have a lot of great food, art from some brilliant local artists, food and beverage, and jazz musicians. So if you want any information on that, please call the Chamber 662-838-8127. That's Byhalia Eats and Arts event. And North Central is proud to sponsor the Olive Branch fireworks display and 4th of July celebration, which will actually be on July 2nd. So come out for that. It'll be at Olive Branch City Park. It'll be good to have this event back after we didn't have it last year. So North Central Electric and North Central Connect will be a part of that, and we want to see some good family-friendly 4th of July celebrations.
Because what were we doing last 4th of July? We were in the house by ourselves.
I think I was shooting Roman candles off my deck.
But you weren't around other people.
No, definitely not. It's good to gather, though. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And this will be on Friday, so it'll be a good way to kick off a holiday weekend. The Byhalia Chamber luncheon is going to be meeting again for the first time since the pandemic shut it down. So in person, July 21st here at the office, North Central's office. We've got a very esteemed keynote speaker, Mr. Doddridge, who will talk about the state of the cooperative and how things are going. Are you ready?
Got that date.
I may be speaking. No,
No.
he'll be here 11:30. And if you'd like to attend or sponsor, we are accepting sponsorships for some to be able to feature your business before the event during the networking portion. Call the chamber office 662-838-8127. And lastly, I want to promote a new event. This is something we've always supported, DeSoto Grace, which is a fantastic organization in our area. DeSoto Grace is going to kick off the inaugural Wings competition, DeSoto Wings Competition and Festival, which will be at the Olive Branch Soccer Fields on July 24th from 12 to 6. And it is a wing cooking competition. They'll have an eating competition. But wings are kind of like...
sign up for that?
Yeah. They're accepting, I think, the first 12 applicants for the wings. So if you visit DeSotoGrace.org, you can learn more about that. But, wings and cooking wings and cooking chili are very similar. Everybody thinks they have the best recipe. They know the best way to do it.
I'm like Justin. I have the best way to eat them.
Yeah. Well, there's that too. So you can participate in both. And for those amateur chefs, those backyard grillers, those weekend warriors, don't worry. There is a separate category for restaurants and professionals. So you can enter as an amateur, and there are cash prizes. But more information, DeSotoGrace.org. And let us know if there's anything that we can do to help support you, your organization, your community.
And what about we have an event coming up as well.
Oh, Members Appreciation Day.
I almost forgot.
My stars. I didn't write that one down.
I should have. You said hot dog earlier. I was like, well, speaking of hot dogs, you could get at the membership appreciation.
Yeah, he teed up the segue, and I missed it. But
it's okay.
That's our dates. What, July 19th? Is that right?
16th. That's the
July
Friday.
16th.
Yeah, let me make sure here because I've got my calendar up.
But we're bringing back Member Appreciation Day, and this is an event that we created several years back, and we want to be able to feature the cooperative, have the folks that you see out in the field and in the office here ready to talk to you. I'm sure we'll have some demonstrations for energy efficiency, Northcentral Connect. We'll have a cut the cord workshop to help those that have been connected and want to get rid of their expensive satellite or cable
with
provider.
One of 400 quadrillion options.
Yeah. So there'll be an educational piece to it, but at the very least, come by, have a hot dog, have a cold drink, and visit with us.
Donuts in the morning, hot dogs in the afternoon, bounce house, balloon artist, CTC, digital media technology class is going to provide us with a photo booth. I'll be hosting the Cut the Cord event. We will also have Vitalent will be here for a blood drive, and we are giving away a $100 Visa gift card for anybody that donates during the event. So it's not a nationwide or citywide contest. It's if you donate, you got a shot. I mean, it's pretty much a 1 in 20 shot at $100.
That's right. And we'll also have door prizes just for those who attend. So we'll have an opportunity
We'll have
to
the whole
sign up for
drawings
that.
and everything else. But and then one more thing we are working on. One of the things that we've been lucky to sponsor is Musicians for Le Bonheur, and I've been in contact with the hospital. We are still not allowed in. Yeah, I know it. It's if you Kevin, you just winced because
I like going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an event that is indescribable, but the safety of those children is paramount. So I understand completely.
Yeah. So, in 2019, you got to follow around your favorite local band, and
I followed Free World.
Yeah. So they.
Do you have Marcella Simeon coming yet?
I'm working on it. She's got to answer emails. Hint, hint.
If she listens to the podcast, let us know.
I've got it. Yeah, because earlier this year, Free World released their the remix of D Up, and I actually got to direct that video, but she was in Nashville, and so I couldn't hey, Musicians for Le Bonheur, nudge nudge. So, but
maybe your dad.
Yeah, well, he was in Nashville too, I think, or in New Orleans.
He's a Grammy Award winner.
Yeah, and I have him in a sombrero that takes up the entire frame, singing the words D Up. But anyways. So we will continue with the album. At least we will continue with another documentary piece that we have with the students of career and technology centers. But we will be working on that. So if you're interested in that, musiciansforlebonheur.com. Email us at info@musiciansforlebonheur.com. And if you're a band interested in participating, or if you're a local business that wants to carry the CD in your stores, we would love to have you. But we will be continuing the project in a different way, and hopefully next year we'll be all back to normal, because they were heartbroken that they had to tell me no, because we bring the employees, we bring gift bags, we bring bands, and it's a great experience. So but yeah, musiciansforlebonheur.com, and I believe that is all.
That's it.
Okay, well, we will see you guys again in July. Y'all be safe this summer.